Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday,
Friday.
October 14th. If you are joining us live this morning,
I'm Matt, and this is Cindy, and we do this full time for a living.
we are full-time resellers. This is our live weekly recap of how our week went. Some weeks it's good, some weeks it's not good. We share them both.
Hmm.
I think we both have early bird month this morning.
Do we?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Early bird. That's a lie.
Um,
Lies.
lies. So yes, how did this week go?
Not answering.
You're not answering.
No.
Oh, that good, huh? Did happen this week.
We sold some stuff.
We listed some stuff. We sold some stuff. We shipped some stuff.
We
End.
got some returns.
Some returns.
Returns are a interesting topic. It's a part of doing business.
It's a part of doing business. Exactly. You just gotta buckle up and
Deal with them.
So, yes, it is that time of year though. Sell more stuff, you get more returns.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of business.
Yeah.
Everybody, all businesses have returns part of their.
Yeah.
I was going to say goals, but
that's not a goal. I'm going to reduce them as much as possible. And we do. We do a pretty good job of reducing them, but it just is what it is. Sometimes things just come back.
Mm-hmm.
So dealing with that this week, I had a couple of days where I was sick this week, so didn't get a whole lot done.
Salutations from Stockton, California. You lucky person to be living in nice warm California when it's like 34 degrees here today. This morning.
Very, very cold here in Chicago. But so we did that this week. We did some listings on eBay. Got some listings on eBay up.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of the normal for just a normal October, selling all the Halloween stuff. I am ready to shift from Halloween to Christmas though.
Oh, me too.
Yes, I am ready for that shift to happen.
And it's starting to.
Yes. Yeah. We had a few things this week. So let's say it's so close. So close. So worked on that. How many times can I say so this morning?
So.
Quite a few. But the hot topic in the reselling community this week.
There's actually a couple.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You talk about yours.
All right.
Mine's a surprise.
Oh boy. It was that Nike came out with a public policy that they were banning resellers. And if you follow the reselling community, especially Amazon sellers, you know that a lot of people have based their businesses off of going to the Nike outlet and buying all of the stuff and then flipping it back onto Amazon. Good morning for the resell of it. So Nike came out and said, yeah, no more.
So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like.
So years ago, let us time travel.
Take the Wayback Machine.
Let's take the Wayback Machine.
Mr. Peabody.
Yes, because I have been selling for a very, very long time. There was a similar situation in which people would go to the Coach outlet and buy handbags, wallets, whatever. And they'd buy the new releases and then they'd flip them online. And Coach came out and said, no more. Those sellers got banned from the stores. They got, is this Ross, Marshalls, Burlington, RH? No. So this is when you buy directly from Nike, but I will get to how it could impact that. So when Coach did it, they banned those resellers.
So if you went to a Coach store and you bought like 10 bags, they're like, no,
you could get banned. And you went on like a corporate list and you were just straight up banned from purchasing. So with Nike, I anticipate that same scenario happening. It probably will take a little while until it, funnels its way all the way down to the individual outlet stores. But purchases online, all those kinds of things, like they really do not want their products on the third-party marketplace.
So if you go to Nike and you go to their outlet or whatever, you're probably going to get at some point
banned. But how it could impact the Ross Marshalls Burlington RA peeps also is that Nike is really serious about keeping their products off of the third-party marketplace. So when Coach did it, Coach basically just said, you just can't come in and buy, 10 of the same bag and resell it, or we're going to ban you.
But if you found one like at a Ross, you
were okay. What Nike is doing, though, is they are going in and buying from sellers, whether it's on eBay or Amazon or wherever you're selling. And then they have ways of knowing that item came from either an outlet or a discount seller. If it came from one of those places, it is not what they call first run. So first run products are what would be sold at like a regular Nike store, not at the Nike outlet. When that happens, they are filing claims. So they're filing IP claims on Amazon. They're going after sellers on eBay for inauthentic. Because if you're selling it as new in box, this brand new in box pair of sneakers, then Nike is saying that
you're not an authorized reseller, and because there's obviously that.
Yes, and that it's a trademark infringement because this is not a first run product and you are representing it as such.
Yeah, Beachbody was a big back in the day.
You still can't sell Beachbody.
Yeah,
so Nike's really serious about it. They have come after sellers before. This has been coming.
This isn't the first I've heard from Nike, and
this has been coming down the pipeline. So if you didn't see it coming, you probably need to pay more attention to the industry because this has been coming.
Yeah.
Nike's been going after resellers hard for a couple of years now. So those people who do the big Nike buys and then
they're going to be in trouble.
It's time to pivot.
Yeah.
It's time to pivot.
Yeah. Well, and it's easily said that it's time to pivot, but I'm sure these sellers, they have a lot of stock. That's going to be a tough.
Yes, it won't be the last brand either. I agree. Brands do not like resellers. Stores don't like resellers as a general rule. Of course, somebody who's going to come and say that, the manager of my whatever store loves me. And that's I'm sure very true. As a general rule, businesses don't like resellers. And it makes sense if you look at it from their perspective. If I go into, let's say, a Nike store, I am just going to go in, I am going to buy everything on the shelf that is the hot product. That item that is bringing people in, that is getting people to their store, I'm going to go and I'm just going to buy all of that. And I'm not buying anything else. Now, when
your average consumer comes in,
they want one of that hot product, and then they buy socks, and then they buy a t-shirt for their kid, and then they come back, 3 weeks later and they buy a coat. That consumer is much more valuable to Nike than I am. And when that consumer comes in time and time again, and the hot product is totally gone, all the sizes are totally gone, they begin to get frustrated with that store. So they start shopping somewhere else. So it makes sense from a business's perspective why they're like, yeah, we don't want to sell all of our hot items to you.
Yeah, I understand. I understand it. Nike's standpoint.
I get it.
It does come into question though, because you buy something, you have rights to basically legally you have a right to be able to say, hey, I don't like it and I want to sell it.
Yes.
But in order to fight that,
you have to fight Nike.
You have to fight Nike and all of their lawyers. And I guarantee Nike has more lawyers than I do.
Oh my goodness.
By a gazillion.
By a gazillion. Exactly. And Nike's trying to protect their brand, and they don't want those outlet items because there are products that are made specifically for the outlet. Mm-hmm. They're not the quality of an item that is made specifically for Nordstrom's. They don't want those two items sold as the same quality.
Yeah, and that was last year or the year before that one kind of came to light, that they were with the outlet branded items, they were going to start cracking down on those. So.
Yeah, and that's how this kind of began, was they started to crack down on that. They started doing test buys on Amazon and, hammering people over there that you can't do it. So it's going to be interesting to see. Wait till sales are down in the recession, they'll let a seller buy anything they want. That's going to be the interesting thing to watch as this plays out, because Nike gets a lot of sales from resellers.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those, when those hot shoe drops go, they go so fast and so big, and the demand is so high because of resellers. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting. Hey, Jennifer, to see how this plays out when they lose those sales. Mm-hmm. And you're right, as the recession continues and as sales plummet, if it's going to be really interesting.
Are they going to be,
they're going to back up
questioning
a little bit.
What's the resolve on this? Mm-hmm. It was the same years ago with thrift stores. Mm-hmm. They were like, resellers are bad and all this other stuff. Well,
yeah, they quickly changed that tune.
Turned out, resellers bought a lot of stuff from them, and
yeah, it seems like any of these corporations are willing to die on the reseller hill. It really does. And I mean, it could be said that if you look at what Coach did, because Coach did this exact same thing, and if you look at their trajectory, there is not the demand for that product that there was. And maybe that would have happened without.
It could have just naturally.
Yeah. Maybe that would have happened without. But it is interesting now to look back and be like, well, Coach did this, and now where is Coach? And Coach still has demand and that sort of thing, but not like it did at the point when all the resellers were doing it. Yeah. Resellers are probably 15 to 20% of Nike sales. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So it's a gamble on their end for sure.
Well, and you got to take into account that's 15 to 20% of their sales from resellers. Mm-hmm. But like you said earlier, you and I walk into the store to buy shoes for our kids, and we're going to buy a t-shirt, or we're going to buy socks. And those aren't the sales that normally the resellers are doing. They're just getting the shoes. So
yeah,
it's all going to, nobody knows, I mean, were they losing more money because you didn't have the one specific shoe that you came in for, so you just left and didn't buy anything? Consumer. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but you're right. This has been brewing for a while, and I'm not shocked at all by it.
Yeah. Resellers. So resellers are still going to buy just in smaller amounts, and that's how it will transpire for a little while. And then we will see how much they crack down on that.
Yeah. How active Nike is on the selling platforms going after accounts.
Well, and what Coach did was, because that's exactly what people did. Excuse our furnace. It's really cold.
We're not in Florida or California.
It's really cold, so you're snuff deal. That's exactly what the Coach sellers did. They came in and they just started buying smaller quantities. But then what Coach did was they flagged them because they were just buying they were coming in repeat buying just the hot product. They were still buying multiples, and they still got banned.
Yeah, you bought 12 purses in a matter of 2 weeks.
Yeah. It didn't matter that you were only buying 2 at a time.
Yeah.
You were coming in.
Yeah, there's no reason why anybody would buy 12 purses in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah. For the reseller, you're exactly right. It's not about the reseller buying. It's about the other customers being turned off by the item not being available. And that's exactly what it is. They're looking at the dissatisfaction of your average consumer and trying to hold on to that average consumer. So what they're betting is that just like you said, the loss that they're going to take from the resellers is going to end up being a net positive for them because that average consumer is going to buy more. Yes, it costs the company X amount per head that walks into the store. They look at the cost per gain to that customer. Yeah, and when I walk into a store as a reseller, I am not worth nearly what that average consumer is worth to that company.
No, because you're just going to buy typically just one thing.
Well, yeah, one product, and I might buy 20 of them.
Yeah, but
I only want that one product.
If you get 20 customers buying the one thing plus one other thing, I mean, do the math. I mean, that's 20 more items that they would have sold.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see it play out. Definitely, this business is all about being able to pivot, though. Mm-hmm. Being able to change, being able to read the tea leaves and go, okay, yeah, this is going to be something I'm going to need to back off of, or this is something I'm going to want to go deeper into. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We don't really have a horse in this race. We are ungated to sell on Nike. So we've sold Nike, but it's not anywhere near the main part of our business.
No. People were buying like truckloads.
Yeah, they would literally rent U-Hauls and take it to the friends and family event at Nike. Yeah. Target did the same thing 4 years ago. Yeah, Target's still not friendly to resellers. And Target will ban you, 1,000%. Now, Target tends to not ban people from coming into the store. What happens with Target is you will get banned from buying online, lose any sort of red card privileges, red cards where you get the percentage off. The Target Circle, this week it was like $10 if you spend $50 worth of toys, you lose all of those benefits. But yeah, they will. It's the same thing. When I go into Target, I buy 20 of the hot toy, food, whatever is running right now. But then that's all that I buy.
Not necessarily.
Generally speaking.
Generally, but not necessarily. You'll go in there and you'll be like, okay, we need this for home. I mean, but
for the most part,
you're walking in and you're just buying the one thing.
Yeah. Walmart's next. Walmart has been better to resellers up until this point, which is really interesting. Like, Walmart doesn't have any problem with you using your tax exempt.
Which is interesting because Walmart has their own website, their own like reseller website.
That may be the difference here. Because I just read this week, Walmart is now the second, the second
highest
business in market share for e-commerce.
Really?
So it used to be Amazon and then eBay.
So Walmart surpassed eBay.
Walmart has surpassed eBay in e-commerce sales. And they are really trying to pull in that third-party seller. They really want to take on Amazon with those third-party sellers. So it may be that they continue to be friendlier.
Yeah, because they want that market.
To resellers, because they know it eventually winds up on their site anyway, and so they're getting the sales anyhow.
Well, they're getting double sales. They're getting, you're buying it from them and you're reselling it on them, and they're getting whatever revenue from fees.
Yeah, and then that average consumer is still buying from Walmart. They can just buy it online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I can't go into Target without coming out something for myself. It depends on if our daughter is with me. If our daughter is with me, then there are always additional items in the cart. If it's just me, then I can walk out and just myself. Amazon to Amazon is dicey right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that one.
Because, again, things that came out this week. And this is a hot topic. People have their own opinions. It has been said that, so there were a lot of people saying that you could ungate any item just by opening up a separate business Amazon account. Yes, no Prime, buy with your business account. Then you could use that to ungate. You could use that to resell the item. Then there has been reports of people who have gotten suspended for doing that.
Yeah, that was this week too, wasn't it? That was Monday.
So.
I want to say that we heard of a few.
And then people that have reached out to Amazon directly and said, is this okay? And Amazon has said absolutely not. That within the TOS, it says that basically you can't profit off of Amazon's products. Like,
only Amazon's allowed to profit.
Yeah. Which, I mean, would that shock any of us if they...
Jeffy needs his money for his rocket ships.
Exactly. So that's, and that's been a thing for a long time too, that people have bought off of Amazon to flip back onto Amazon. But Amazon may be cracking down on that also. And whether or not you think it's in the TOS, that's your own opinion. We all run our own businesses and we all get to decide what
do whatever you want.
What our risk level is. Yeah. But again, I can understand it from Amazon's point of view for the same reason. They don't want me to come in and buy all of that product, because then the average consumer who goes onto Amazon to buy that product now can't get it. So it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same philosophy.
Yes. And as Amazon's sales are already down, their projections are already down, them wanting to hold on to that average consumer and not sell out to a reseller,
it's growing.
Yeah, that becomes a bigger concern.
Yeah.
When Amazon's making money hand over fist,
no, they don't care.
When people are making money, they don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't care what you do. You want to buy 30 of it, you go. Have fun with it. I'm going to just assume you're throwing a party. When those projections start to come down, when those stockholders start to say, wait, what's going on? That's when businesses start to say, hey, maybe and resellers are just the easiest first target. Mm-hmm. It's easy to blame the reseller. Our projections are down because all of these resellers came in and we lost our average consumer. It's just an easy out. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon does not meet projections for Q4, I would not be surprised if they came down harder on resellers buying off of Amazon to flip back onto Amazon. Because they're in business too. Everybody wants to eat.
Well, Amazon just had their second Prime Day.
Yes, that was this week also.
Yeah,
we have a busy week.
We always have a busy week.
Mm-hmm.
We're just used to it. Doesn't feel busy, right? We're used to it.
They did have this.
So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of revenue.
Yeah, how that played versus
what their projections were.
Versus the Prime in the spring. Mm-hmm. If you are an Amazon seller, you are probably like me. Maybe you're not.
I doubt it.
Maybe not. Okay. No, you're not like me. I created an entire spreadsheet of products that we are kind of watching, interested in for Q4 to see what those ranks did, what supply did, that sort of thing through Prime Day. And it was interesting. Some of those products Amazon put on Prime Day sales and clearly did not get the sales they had anticipated.
Why do you say that?
Because the rank, instead of going down like you would have anticipated with a nice sale, you would anticipate a nice drop in that rank from all of the sales. That rank went up, which means it didn't sell at the pace it had been selling at prior to them putting it on the Prime Day.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, writing's on the wall. It's when you sell through a recession, which been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Got the t-shirt?
Yeah, it is what it is. You have to be very strategic. I think when the economy is booming,
it doesn't matter. You can
make money on just about anything.
Yeah. And you can make mistakes and still profit from your mistakes.
Yes. But when the economy turns, that's when
your margin of error decreases exponentially. It just really shrinks.
Yeah, because there aren't as many items that are profitable. And this recession is going to be even more predominant because there are so many more sellers now. So like when the housing market crashed in 2008, was that?
There was hardly anybody.
Days we try to block out. There just weren't as many sellers.
No.
So and competition wasn't as
fierce. And to be quite honest, 2008, you had eBay. I mean, I don't even know. In 2008, Amazon was there, but they weren't.
It wasn't like it is today.
No, eBay was, I think, the main player.
Yeah. So you're going to have to be more strategic. You're going to have to think things through a little bit more. I know we certainly are looking at, look at all of those businesses' Q4 projections and what businesses are still projecting growth versus what businesses are backing off of what their beginning of the year projections had been for Q4. Now they're saying, maybe we're not going to hit that. Looking at those kinds of things so that you can determine, these are the areas then they're still growth in, because there's still growth.
Well,
you just got to find it.
But to be cautious, even though a business is projecting growth, doesn't necessarily equate to growth.
True.
I could project, that we're going to have amazing fourth quarter. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have it.
True. But if you are a publicly traded company and you don't meet those numbers, stockholders tend to
get a little feisty about it.
And so they generally, if a business can see the writing on the wall, then they try to kind of forewarn those stockholders to be like, whoa, manage your expectations here, because this is what we're dealing with. So it's gonna be an interesting probably year until we kind of come out of this cycle and things start to turn back and to see it's like the ultimate game of Survivor. Who survives? Who gets voted off the island?
Wow. This has been a very pleasant Friday.
Electric and gas costs this winter will make a huge impact on our businesses if they increase. And if you look at what's happening in Europe, then that's coming our way. And that's, not a political statement at all. It's just, just is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. Food prices are up.
Yeah, if you've been to the grocery store, food prices are up. And that's going to impact. And so then you have to start looking at, where are people still going to spend money? And play into those areas, because there's still money to be made. In fact, so the housing market crisis, when that crashed, you were not working with it.
No, I still had a full-time job.
But you worked in the building industry.
I did.
And so that hit us financially hard.
It did.
That was a bad time. But I was able to scale my eBay business during that same time frame, because there's still opportunity there. You have to shift a little bit in what you're selling and how you're selling and those kinds of things. but there's still opportunity there. You're just going to have to pivot a little bit. Maybe not a little bit. Maybe a hard left, depending on what you were selling.
Complete 180.
But there's still going to be a lot of opportunity. It's just going to look different than what it has for the last few years, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for years. I mean,
yeah, you just ride the wave. You just ride the wave. That's my wave. No? Whatever. The big question is eBay still the right place for that to happen? So I'm gonna.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
things per shouldn't say.
Then don't say them.
When a recession happens like this, and people start to have they are forced to watch their money closer, more people tend to go to eBay. And if you just look at your own family and friends, you can kind of watch this happen. If my kid needs a new coat in 2021, when the economy was good, stimulus checks were coming, people had money, you just went on Amazon. You want this coat? Which one do you want, honey? And one click buy, it'll be here in 2 days, done. And you didn't even think about the cost of it. Like if it had been extraordinary, you would have.
Yeah, I'm sure you still thought, but not as to the degree.
Yes. Yeah, but as long as it was in a range,
when you're in a situation where I've only got X amount of money, where I have to pay the mortgage and the lights, and I got to buy food. And now that price of that coat has been.
Yeah, now I'm paying attention to, okay, let's see if we could get this cheaper. You're going to see the couponing accounts on social media skyrocket, budgeting accounts skyrocket, those kinds of products. But yeah, then people start to say, okay, Johnny needs a coat. Let's go over to eBay. This one's like brand new, honey. I can get it for you. And it's $20 versus the $80 one on Amazon.
Well, and truth be told, if it's a kid's coat, they don't even care. Most kids, I mean, and I'm talking like grade school
kids. And they're going to grow out of it in 6 months anyway. Yeah. So that's why you can find them and still sell them like new, because the kid grew out of it before he even wore it.
Yeah.
eBay plus living by good bins. Yeah. Absolutely thumbs up.
Because your cost of goods are
low. And that's going to be another issue as a business owner, is keeping your cost of goods down. But yeah, I think that over the next year, we may see a spike in eBay, which, like, we're not loyal to Amazon at all.
Yeah, we're loyal to whoever can pay our bills.
Mm-hmm.
So
if that's eBay, then
yeah,
I don't love it. It's more time consuming. The margins are less because they're one-off items. But if that's where the money is, that's where the money is. But yeah, I think that within the next year, we may see
a switch, a shift,
a little bit of a shift. And that's okay. But those are kind of your options then. You go back to the one-off on eBay, or you sell more. You're going to have to push more quantity through Amazon at a lower margin, which works also. It's,
6 or 1/2 a dozen.
Yeah, it's choose your hard.
Yeah. Now my question is, what are your thoughts on best offer?
Use best offer. We had this conversation last night. That's why he's doing this, because I went on an entire rant about it.
Well, and I saw a post on some Facebook group, and someone was complaining about a lowball offer. And so we had a whole discussion about it.
Because when someone sends you a lowball offer, that's not personal. And El Ducho Thrift, Denali, she tagged me in a post over on Instagram about the same thing, and we both were kind of having the same conversation at the same time. And so credit to her, she's amazing. It's nothing personal. And when they send that lowball offer, understand that no, they may not need Sorel boots. And you may be thinking, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. That may be very well, yeah, take the offer or counter, never decline. Absolutely. You don't know that person's financial situation, and it's just an offer. They are offering you money of some amount of their money for this item. You don't have to take it.
Well,
it's not personal.
And this was my take on it. Everyone complains about the algorithm. I can't get people to come into my store. Well, you got somebody come into your store and gave you an offer on something. Now, granted, you could have a $50 item and they offered you $5. Is it insulting? Yeah, probably insulting. But you've got an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the algorithm's no longer involved. You got a customer coming to you saying, I am interested
They
in
are
this.
engaged with you.
You have a business opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And we, yeah, for the reseller, I remember the days when things sold without best offer. Absolutely. It was fantastic. But now, so this person comes in and they offer you $5. First off, like you said last night, it could have been a typo. So
Yeah,
if you just auto decline,
yeah,
they didn't even recognize that they made the typo. And so they just think that they're what was supposed to be a $40 offer on your $50 item got declined, and they just move on. But let's assume that it wasn't, because we have gotten those.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spot within your counter offer that you can type a message. And we do that. Sorry, I can't go that low. I'm a small business. This item has these positives to it.
Or I've got this much into it already. I can't, this is below my cost.
Yeah, shipping is going to be X amount of dollars, whatever. And we have had then people start at $5 and come all the way up to where it is an agreeable offer. Because we took the time and I understand it's time.
It's time. It could be frustrating.
Yeah.
I get it. I agree with it. But you got to remember, you're a business owner. It's a business. This is a business opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it could be frustrating.
Not all business opportunities are fun.
But you've got to look at it as a business opportunity and just give them back instead of auto declining or saying you're whatever.
Yeah.
Come back with what you.
Yeah.
What the lowest you can take or what you would be happy selling it for. And if you're listing it for 50, I know you'd want to get 50 for it. I want to get 50 for it. But in reality is somebody going to come back in the next day, in the next week, wanting the same exact thing?
Right.
I mean, chances are probably not.
And as we see more sellers and as we get hit with more inflation, you're going to see even more sellers, more people selling their items. The opportunity for that buyer to go to somebody else who will negotiate with them is really high.
Yeah, if it's a common item, absolutely. No, if it's a very rare, I found this vintage motorcycle jacket from the 50s, or what's that, the 1800s, Levi's that are up in auction. Okay, I auto decline all you want to. They're not going to find it anywhere else. But if it's a polo shirt that 500,000 people also are selling, take that opportunity and try and turn it into a sale.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's part of what's going to happen as we all have to kind of shift our mindsets with the situation that we are all collectively in. I need to make money. So those things that you can do when the economy is great, you can auto decline all day long, doesn't matter. But for a lot of people, not everybody, not saying everybody, but for a lot of people, that is not going to be an option for the foreseeable future. And understand that when somebody gives you the $5 offer, it's because there was someone else on the last product they bought that was willing to negotiate.
And took the $5. Like, okay, fine. I've been sitting on this thing for 3 years. It's yours.
Yeah. Yes, sales will likely increase, but our ASP may have to take a hit to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah, and that just is what it is. You just,
but it was like that other person talked about being close to the bins. That's where your cost of goods. Now you've got an advantage on a lot of other sellers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that may just be it. You're selling this item for $50 and you think it's really worth that. But that guy over there who just took 5 bought it at the bins.
Yeah.
Paid 60 cents for it. Maybe it was his out of his own closet. And like you said, he's been sitting on it for that item's been listed for 3 years. He's just happy to see it go. I sold a dress this week for $4. True story. I think for the resale of it, saw the screenshot of it. $4. Was it a new with tags dress? Yes. Was that a ridiculously lowball offer? Yes. Was it also one that we had gotten for free as a promotion thing?
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I had no money in it.
Our cost
had it also been listed since 2019? Also, yes. $4 offer? I couldn't accept fast enough. And she was proud. I was. Exactly. Because I'd been sitting on it forever. But that same buyer may very well now go to another person, and I'm sorry for this, and say, offer $4.
Yeah.
Because the last dress they got, Yeah.
You're the reason. It's your fault.
It's my fault. I did it. I accepted the offer.
Everybody blames Cindy for the low balls.
Sorry. But I was happy to see it go. It was like, yes, please. And that is one that if she wanted to return it, I would just refund and say, keep it. I have had it for so long. I do not want it back. It's not worth my time.
But you're right. It's not worth your time. For a $4 sale.
On an item that was clearly not going to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It was clearly not. It had been sent since 2019. It was not going anywhere. So yeah, I was very proud of my $4 sale. Yeah, I sent it to for the resale of it. I'm like, look, a $4 sale.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. There's a lot more competition now than there was in 2008 for sure. So
yeah, well,
bob and weave,
and not only a lot more competition as far as resellers, but reselling platforms too.
Mm-hmm.
The consumer now doesn't have to just go on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 5 other platforms they can try.
Yeah, so your buying pool has become widely diversified. Yeah. They're not just shopping on one place anymore. They're over here, they're over there, they're over here, which may mean we have to start cross-posting again.
Oh, goody.
Which is not, you talk, and that's another business opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a business opportunity to cross-post your items onto other sites.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
It's a pain. But if I have a food truck and I could have 2 food trucks, Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. So it's okay. It is okay to say, we will end here, but it is okay to say, this has worked for me great and has been working for me fantastic, but the market has changed, so my business is going to change.
Yeah, you've got to
That's just smart business.
You got to be fluid. You got to be able to just.
Yeah. At least now there are companies that do it for you. Yeah, there are companies that you can have cross-post for you so that I wouldn't have to actually do it.
But that costs money.
It does. It comes at a cost.
Again, your cost of goods, your COGS.
Yeah, weigh it all out. But I think that's it for this week. I have no idea what's coming next week. Tune in to find out. I did give away my book over on Instagram, and as soon as we are done here, I'm going to go announce the winner.
Oh,
so
yay! Congratulations to whoever won.
Congratulations to them. So, all right, have a good week, everybody.
We're ending now.
Bye. We ran a little bit.